But yeah, I'm just gonna start it right now.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, it's the 14th episode of the 100 podcast. Again, I'm gonna start it with some announcements. Brave browser, link on the description. Just check it out, download it. It's a search engine. It gives me $5 in cryptocurrency. It's free. You just download it, keep it for a month, get rid of it if you guys are not trying to keep it. But today, for the 14th episode, I'm kind of excited. This guy's kind of doing a lot of things over here in the Coachella Valley. I brought in a business partner, a friend, Pete. He owns Flat Black Art Supplies in Palm Desert, and he's kind of a big person in the Palm Desert community. What's going on, bro?
Chilling, man. Thank you for having me. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, no problem, dude. I appreciate you even coming on. You're somebody I think that has a lot of information on starting a business and kind of following your art and your passion and making it into something that you can make money and you can live off of. So I don't know. I just want to kind of start from the beginning. What kind of caused you to get into Flat Black? Like, what was your passion to start with?
So essentially, it was something that I've always wanted to do. And I basically, what I did was I actually just pulled the trigger, man. And trusted in myself. I invested in myself, and I just went with it, man. I had a pretty secure job prior to this, so it took a lot out of me to take that leap, because obviously something like this isn't guaranteed, as opposed to a check that you get every week, man. But I trusted in myself, and I just did it. It's something that I've always wanted to do. I've done this prior. So, I mean, not as in having a store, but I've always kind of done it where I sold supplies like out of my trunk and shit like that. Yeah, that's how it started, man. I just kind of took the leap. I saved enough money to start, put a down payment or a deposit on my rent or on the building. Started with very minimal amount of supplies.
And how did it explode? Because I know this is your third spot now, right?
This is our third location. Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
In the last 4 years, man. Yeah, we started 4 years ago. I think so it's funny, man. Like in the beginning, there really wasn't nothing going on, The first year, as a matter of fact, I struggled, man. I was, no lie, I was getting kind of nervous. I was like, shit, man, is this the right thing? But I pulled through, and as soon as I saw an opportunity to basically put value into my company, I did that, and that's essentially what brought me to this level, was adding value to what I was already doing, and then kind of building from there, And
how did you expand the Flat Black brand? Because like you guys are in everything, man. Like you're even in like the community, as in like you're helping children, you're helping them learn about art and kind of like learn about their passions.
Man, that it's not even like a big secret, man. I just was never selfish.
That's how you are, for real. Yeah, man. Definitely with my drones.
I've never been selfish, bro. I've always done what I love to do, which is, reach out to other people. I feel like what we're doing here isn't necessarily something that's even allowed or that got looked on as a good thing. So I kind of use that to my advantage, where it's like we made a positive out of a negative. So off the bat, people were already kind of like, what is this? It caused enough attention where people questioned it, and that was beautiful to me, man, because that's why I got so much attention for it. But essentially,
It's a little edgy.
Absolutely, yeah. And a lot of young parents, even the older parents, they dig this. It's not like it's crime driven, man. It's just a culture, and I think a lot of people familiarize with it because it's everywhere, and it's like people that are into hip hop, people that are into just parents that are rebellious, it's like they dig it, and it turned into something way bigger than that, obviously. But
you're kind of making I don't know, here in the Coachella Valley at least, you're making kind of like that. I don't know if you want to call it urban art, graffiti, whatever. You're making that culture like mainstream. Everybody's seen it everywhere now, and it's it's looked at as art, not as
Yeah, so I mean that was something that wasn't already, I think, brought to light here in the desert, and I think we were the first ones to kind of like really, really put a lot of effort into it, and it made a big impact out here. I think for that same reason.
Yeah.
We kind of just, I think people are kind of smitten by the fact that we actually made a business out of it, and that's why it's like people are in disbelief that we actually are here. So it brings more attention towards us, obviously. And
Yeah,
that's why I tell people, man, be unique and be different.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of. I'm excited to bring you in because like you brought in something that was edgy. Number one, it was your passion, and it was something that nobody really made into a business. You made it into a business, and I think there's a lot of kids out there that have, especially with this technology age, they have a lot of passions or things they're into that they don't even know if they can make a business out of it. But seeing you create graffiti into a business and the art supplies and the art galleries, it's pretty, I don't know, crazy for me watching it happen.
Yeah, this can essentially apply to anything, man.
Yeah.
It could be skateboarding. It could be whatever, dude. If you're into some emo stuff, you're into some goth shit,
whatever, you'll figure it out.
Whatever, dude. You're into,
yeah.
Whatever, spandex and shit, dude. It don't fucking matter, bro. As long as you believe in it, you will fucking do it.
And exactly.
That's it, bro. And that's the biggest example that I would want to set is just giving people kind of like that hope to be like, yo, this motherfucker could make it out of something that's, looked upon as bad, then anybody could,
Yeah. You could figure out, like you said already, make a negative into a positive.
Absolutely.
But
or a positive into a negative. Or
yeah.
no, a negative into a positive. Sorry, you're right. My bad.
But yeah, so now that you guys are here at, the Westfield Mall, in Palm Desert, when's your guys' like official grand opening? Because you guys did a soft opening, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, soft opening was about 2 weeks ago. And that was just to get me back in the game and just kind of started. I was very anxious to get started again. Grand opening, though, is on July 13th, which consists of not only the grand opening, but it's the record release party for Provoked and Wildebeest, or the record,
nice.
The vinyl release party. And then we're also hosting my boy Boise from CBS SFK, who's a local artist. Very good artist. He's also having a solo art show on that day.
Nice.
So we're kind of combining everything all into one party. There's going to be alcohol. There'll be all kinds of cool stuff, man.
What time does it start?
So it's going to go on from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. And everybody's welcome, man. It'll be fun as hell. Yeah, everybody. I mean, from what I can hear, all types of people are already coming. We have the older crowd, we have the young crowd, we have everything in the middle. So it should be something really, really special, man. I'm looking forward to it for sure. Yeah.
Nice, man. So I speaking on, I don't know, going back to the art, I'm gonna go back a little bit.
Yes, sir.
I think you told me, when we first met or whatever, you started a clothing brand at one point, or you had a clothing brand.
Yes,
kind of. I don't know. So you've always been an entrepreneur at heart. You've kind of always been grinding.
Oh yeah. Since I was a little kid. Man.
How would you tell somebody to start their own business? What would your first steps be for someone just starting out, or they have an idea? What should they do?
Build a game plan. First and foremost, definitely have a game plan in mind or set, and be prepared for whatever comes. Like. Kind of have a plan B for everything, because not everything is going to go your way, Yeah. And I think that's what separates the real people that actually make it to the people that just kind of try it and give up. Because I think when they get to a certain point of their entrepreneurship, the road gets a little bit too hard, and they take that as a sign that this wasn't meant to be. When in fact, that's really what the test is. If you could actually go through that, then you're going to make it, because you're able to kind of get through these levels, right? And then the higher you grow into these levels, the more the levels start getting less harder, because you've gained so much experience. So I would definitely say plan, and be confident in yourself, and start stacking some chips,
Yeah.
You're not gonna get it with just being broke, man. To be honest, it's really hard to start with. I started with $5,000, which isn't a lot, but it isn't,
It's not nothing, but it's
right. So for me, I have a family, man. So $5,000 to take a chance and then leave my job to do it, it was a fucking big deal. You know what I'm saying? But stack your chips, man. Put aside.
How'd you survive that year?
Man,
Barely, bro.
How'd you how'd you know that you were gonna make it? And obviously you said it got
I didn't.
tough. You
I
didn't.
didn't.
You just kept.
Fuck,
You're like,
I
I'm
just
going,
kept
dude.
going,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. I'm too deep.
You get to a certain point where you're like, you know, because there's good days, bro. There's good days and then there's bad days. I basically, those good days I used to my advantage, and I would say, okay, so, you know, I basically just soaked up as much as I could from everything. I said, all right, so this is good, you know, there's a positive thing to it. I never really looked at it in the negative aspect, so these good days would teach me to just keep growing off of those days. And that's it, bro. Like, you know, when you have good days, you got to kind of just take it for what it is and just appreciate it and use that, you know?
Especially when you're running your own business. Like, it's not going to just...
Especially, see, the thing about running your own business, bro, is that you don't have a 9 to 5. You know, it's like you're kind of dependent on your hustle. So it's really dependent on how much you're willing to give. You know, if you're willing to give everything you have, then that's what you're going to get, right? So I went all in. And that's the only way that I knew how to do it. So if you sacrifice everything you have, you will win, but you will fail in the process. So you got to continue going.
Yeah.
So
you
it's
might fail
hard.
a few battles.
And
you're gonna win the war, hopefully. You know?
It's not really. Nobody really ever talks about, and I don't really talk about it to anybody in general, but I mean, we don't really talk about all the bad shit that Flat Black's been through. You know, all the stressful days, the sitting at my shop and nobody's coming in, and I'm like, you know, losing my brain, man, and just, you know, almost to the point where I'm like ready to cry, bro, just thinking about how I'm gonna feed my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's deep, bro. And
that's kind of what people need to hear, though, because they need to know to get through
bro.
it, you know?
And I tell people when they want to hear it, you know, when they talk to me, I tell them, like, look, don't let all this media and all these things that you hear about us, you know, make you think that it's all good. I'll be the first to tell you, man, like, this shit is not easy, bro. You know, there will be plenty of times where you're going to be, you know, ready to just break. You know, but if you continue and you figure out a way to make that happen, you're always going to get ahead, man. And there's always a way. Everything is meant to be the way it's supposed to be for you. You know what I'm saying? And you will have those days that suck, but if you're willing to give everything you have, those days will turn into good days. And eventually, man, you use the good days to make it happen.
Yeah, I don't know, what I'm kind of learning myself, you know, with the drones and kind of, I just put my 2 weeks in my job, actually. I'm trying to move to Arizona. I'm kind of learning, like, take everything as a lesson. Like, take it and just take it as something and move forward and better yourself the next day.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of, I'm sure that's what you did with Flat Black. Like, you just kept taking everything as a lesson, and hey, whatever mistake you made or whatever, you changed and you didn't make that mistake again.
Absolutely. You have to.
You adjust it.
If you don't, then you're cheating yourself, you know, by like, you know, if you know it's bad for you in this game. When you're in business by yourself, you can't keep taking those losses forcefully, you know, like, you can't want to keep losing. So if you're putting yourself in the position to lose, you're gonna lose, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
It's not gonna. You're just not gonna. You know, you keep testing it, it's gonna happen, bro. So, you know, you gotta learn from each time and make it. You know, make it happen.
What I don't know. What was your most, I don't know, your biggest moment or your proudest moment with Flat Black?
I think so far. Man, there's so much though, dude.
I know there's so many.
It's like every time we get to a certain point, you know, it's like I'm just like, damn, you know, I'm in disbelief because you know, again, this started from almost nothing. So I think a lot of it definitely has to be, a lot of like the big moments have to be just being able to provide a community of young artists, especially, with an opportunity to learn something from a culture like ours, you know, that again has always been kind of looked down upon, you know, and it's like each one teach one, man, and we're just trying to, you know, plant seeds in these young minds, you know, and not only to, like, we're not trying to get like dudes to like start writing graffiti, man, more than anything. I just, you know, we're trying to just inspire people to be artistic, and I think when I seen that is when I was really like, oh shit, like we're really making a difference, you know, and essentially that's what I'm trying to do, is just make a difference more than anything. You know?
And this time, you know, this 2019, bro. Like everybody's selfish and it's kind of weird, and it's different seeing somebody actually like trying to make a difference. Like you're just generous and you're like you wanna help everybody. I see you like. You put art, like even when I had my small clothing brand that was nothing, like you put it in your shop, you know.
Absolutely,
like,
homie, because that's what we do. It's for us, you know. This is for us. Like,
yeah.
Nobody can take this shit away from us, you know. You can't go to El Paseo and do that shit because they're gonna look at you all weird. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a victim, not a victim, but I've been through that where I had a business and nobody wanted to, you know, they were just kind of like, nah, dude, you look kind of like sketchy.
Good.
You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? I'm like,
well,
let me talk to you first. You
Give
know what
me
I'm
a
saying?
second,
Yeah,
bro,
let me show you what time it is. And you know, so I feel like I built something that's essentially meant for us to be able to thrive in, you know. And dude, to be honest, man, the biggest advice I could give somebody, dog, is like just be cool, man. Be nice to people, do shit for others, and really, you know, try to make things happen together and not be so angry or selfish, you know what I'm saying? Because the money, see, people have the misconception that if you have to be selfish in order to make money, right? You got to keep it to yourself. And that's, to me, from all the lessons that I've learned, it was like, if you just give back, man, that shit will come organically, bro. I don't chase that shit, you know. That shit just pops up, and it's all because we do what we want to do, and you know we're happy doing it. And yeah, money will come to you, bro.
You're
like,
authentic.
Absolutely, dog. Like you don't have to put yourself out there or you know try to be something that you're not just to try to, you know, get bitches or trying to look cool or you know. It's like just be who you are. And everything will fall into place. And that applies in business as well. You know, when you go into business meetings, obviously you're going to want to be a little bit more professional. But don't sell yourself short trying to be something that you're not. Because if you eventually get a job or working with these people, you got to keep up this persona, man. You know,
you want to know who you are. Like,
let them know who you are. Be proud of who you are. You know, I go into
yeah.
these business meetings now in shorts, bro. You know, I'm chilling. Because
I'm
I've
not
already
faking it.
built my value. Like my
yeah.
actions speak louder than my words. I don't have to tell you shit. We've already done all that shit. You know, we got stuff here at the mall. We're doing, you know, the graffiti park in Palm Springs. We have all these things that we can. What's up, dog? That we can. You want to pause it real quick? Does it pause? It's
no, we're good.
You're good, dog. You're good. You're good. He's like, what the fuck did I just walk into? No, you're good, bro.
I'll edit this part out. This will be my when I put an ad in. Word. There you go.
Go ahead. Ask me something else.
I forgot what were we on? It was
selfishness.
Deal. Oh yeah.
But yeah, just be real.
Yeah.
Be real.
Exactly.
Keep it real to yourself.
And like you were saying, man, like you're not above anybody, but you're not below anybody. Like when you go in those business meetings, like you just if you don't like what I'm saying or you don't agree with me, okay. But like I am what I am, and you are what you are. And if you believe in me, believe in me. If you don't,
yeah.
Hey.
And I'll tell you what, though, man, it takes a while to get to that point, because in the beginning, when you're trying to let people know what you're doing, you do have to, you know, be on your toes, you know, and prepared. You know what I mean? Because people are gonna look down on you, bro, and you know, people look down on me from the very beginning because of just how I looked, you know. But I think more importantly, before you even start doing any of that, you have to prove to yourself and prove to your own people like that you're worthy of this shit. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is just like you have to put in the work first, and the rest will come into play. You know, and that's it. Like when you build your own value, when you walk into these meetings, it's like you don't necessarily have to do too much because you've already touched on that by them or by just doing what you do, and they have something visually to look at, like by your work.
Basically, your whole background.
Absolutely, and like for you, bro, like you have, you know, I remember when you first started doing drones, and I was like, oh shit, you know, you started doing, you know, at the street event, you know, last year, you know, and then just at the last shop, and you know, I started seeing all these, you know, all these things, and it just got better and better, and now, you know, you have all this stuff to show people.
Yeah,
you know
I actually have a full portfolio now.
Exactly, and you have a podcast. Like you're a person that's that has something to offer. You know, so you don't have to sell yourself short by going in there and, you know, some people just kind of do too much sometimes, and it's just like, you know, these older people that have money and power, man, they can see right through that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, you know.
And I'm kind of learning from people like you, and just from being in business meetings or talking to people about like a drone video or a real estate video or the event. Like, I'm starting to learn how to talk and just kind of be myself. And if they don't see my worth, then okay. But I know my worth, and I've had the portfolio. I've done it. You know,
your worth
like,
is in those portfolios,
exactly.
bro.
And like you said, like,
it don't matter what you look like, what you sound like, you know, none of that shit.
I'm an artist myself,
Yeah,
you know, like
right
it's my art.
It's an artistry,
If you don't like my art, then you don't like my art. But it speaks for itself.
They'd be, you know, they'd be selling themselves short by judging you off what you look like, and it happens, bro.
It does, yeah.
But you know what? If that's the case, then it wasn't meant for you, man.
Exactly.
You know? And you can just keep pushing forward. And I've dealt with that many a times, bro. So, you know. And then at one point, those same people came crawling because they were like, "Oh shit," you know what I mean? Like, wait a minute.
I wasn't ready for this.
And I'm like, I'm good, you know. And sometimes I'll be like, yeah, fuck it, why not? Because I'm not like that. I mean, like, I'm not gonna hold grudges and be all, you know, on some like negative shit. And I think that's why I've been able to kind of, you know, get to where I'm at, even though I'm not even 50% to where I want to get to, you know. It's steadily climbing, and I can see that, and it's pretty obvious. But
so speaking on that, like you said, you're not even close to where you want to get to. What's your plan? What's your 5-year, 10-year plan, or your future year plan? Whatever you wanna speak on.
So, fuck, that's a great question. That's a great question.
I know you got a game plan, man.
No,
I've seen it. You got the street team, you got the Westfield Walls, you got all that stuff, man. You guys are
so you're
spreading the brand everywhere.
Thank you, dog.
Yeah,
thank you. So all that kind of takes into place now, and it's like we just kind of build off of what we have in front of us, right? Ultimately, though, I would want to one day expand the business. And maybe even franchise into different cities. I want to personally open up a few more shops. I've been in talks with a couple people already that would, you know, be interested in franchising and stuff like that. So, like, I think that's just build the brand into, you know, a more global thing, you know, and then sell all of it, bro, and then go fucking live on the island somewhere and chill out.
Exactly. Enjoy your life with your
it,
lady
bro.
and your kids.
The more, like I said, bro, and I'll keep saying this forever, homie. The more value that you bring into your businesses, man, or your business, it's like, that's it, bro. Like, I'd be a fool if I told you that I wanted to sell spray paint for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I've never even told nobody that shit, dog. But, like, really, dog, honestly, on some real stuff, man, I would like to eventually build enough value into this company to just sell it all, bro.
I see what you're doing. You got your hands in everything.
But for that to happen, I have to have my hands in everything. I have to work for at least another, you know, fucking 5-10 years. Like, this ain't gonna happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I think the way that we're moving right now, you know, and with everything that I'm learning as I go, I think I could definitely utilize those skills to get to that point where I build it into an empire where I could just sell everything and let somebody else just kind of take over, you know.
Move on to the next stage.
Yeah, definitely, man.
What do you have any cities in mind that you'd want to spread to first?
Fucking fly.
I know.
Not anything in particular, man. I mean, I've, you know, there's like supply and demand in a few places that I've already heard of.
Yeah.
But I'm, you know, when it comes to that, man, I'm not even like strategic or nothing. Not for that.
Yeah.
Well, not because of that. It's just honestly, bro. Like, I started this in the Coachella Valley, dog, where it wasn't even like, even I had my own homies that were telling me this was never gonna work, right? So I honestly, I'm like confident enough to feel like no matter where I make this happen, I'm almost looking to go to cities that don't have a big art scene, because it's more of a challenge, you know, to build something that's not already built, you know, or that's not already there. And that's essentially like what I kind of like to do, you know, it's be unique in its own way. And I feel like that's very possible, you know.
like you said, you know your worth already, so you feel
Yeah,
like you can
absolutely.
build it again and keep building
When you
it,
go,
build
when
it,
you
build it.
exactly, bro, because when you go anywhere, people are gonna familiarize with that name. I mean, it's not like gonna be like McDonald's or nothing where you just go to, you know, you
Yeah,
put a
yeah,
McDonald's
yeah.
somewhere. It's, but you know, this type of, you know, thing is you know, it's profitable and people like art, you know, and we're not just a retail shop. We offer programs, you know, we offer workshops, a gallery. You know, there's a lot that we're building here. Sorry.
No,
Fuck.
you're-
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, no, you're
My
good.
bad. Baby. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of an interview. I'll call you back. Bye. Sorry, guys.
Hey.
Wifey and shit.
I know what that's like. I was
Well,
on the
I
last
get
one.
nervous because she don't ever call me
And then she
like
called you
that.
multiple
Well,
times.
she called me a couple.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, oh, hold up. Make
We were
sure
on
she's
my.
okay.
I was on my last podcast, and they were talking about one of my buddies was talking about moving to Vegas, and the other one was saying, "Oh, open a strip club and send all your twerking videos to us and all that." And I was like, "Hey, don't send it to me. I got a wife. I'm like,
Yeah, bro.
I'm
Don't
gonna
get
some
me in
shit.
trouble, bro.
Yeah, hell no. So my
I
wife's
got enough to
Latina.
deal with. Yeah.
Fuck that,
I
bro.
Yeah. Look, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man.
I ain't trying to get shanked when I get home.
Nah, I'm good. I got shit to
good.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, miss me with all that shit.
Oh man, but yeah. So start speaking on what all you guys do, because I know you guys are art gallery. You have the shop.
Yeah. Yeah, so the main thing is obviously the retail aspect of it, right? I mean, that's essentially what we started with. We offer the, I guess what you would consider youth programs for, it's like workshops, basically, for the youth.
Yeah.
Which we offer inside the Westfield Mall. And that's a collaboration with our events coordinator and events manager, Lise, and the whole Flat Black team that take care of that. And that portion of it is basically called the Art Lab. It's kind of like the umbrella, and then there's Art Lab, so it's us and then Art Lab.
Yeah.
So that whole thing is happening in there. We also have right up there at the third-story parking structure. We have the Flat Black Westfield walls.
We got another.
You're fucking killing me, bro. Go to that one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Just yeah.
I just want to let you know.
Yeah. All right.
He does own Flat Black, so we are busy. You know, he's a busy man. Like he's making moves. So,
Sorry,
yeah.
guys.
We're in his
We're
shop
working
right now. Yeah, exactly. They're
This
working
is,
out.
you're live and shit. Like,
We're
this
live.
is real shit right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are at Flat Black.
Yeah, we're definitely in Flat Black like a motherfucker. So yeah, we offer the Westfield walls, the parking structure, where people are able to go up there and paint. And shit.
Yeah.
And that's year round. That's also where we host a street event every year in collaboration with Westfield.
How many years have you done that?
I've personally done that going on my 3rd year.
Okay.
Where I was actually involved. Like heavily involved, about 2, I think this is going to be my 3rd year.
So you weren't involved in the first one or in the first?
I
couple?
wasn't personally involved with anything that was going on with the art around the
Okay.
thing. I just kind of came in as someone who provided artists to add stuff. Like, you know, we painted these lanterns one year, and then that started everything off, and then we eventually started painting walls. I brought out artists, and because I pitched it, I was like, yo, you guys need art. It's called street, right? So let's get some more art. And they were like, yeah, let's do it. And then boom, it happened. And then now we're at a point where we basically sit on the table with everybody involved, with all the management inside Westfield, and we make decisions on what we want to do, for a year.
Explain on that. Explain on going from just providing artists to being one of the big dogs in the event, basically one of the main guys coordinating it. Is it kind of surreal? Or is
Yeah, of course, it's awesome, dude. But I think I've become so close to the Westfield management, and like they're like really cool people. Shout out to Francesca and Jen. Jack, Pam, everybody that works in there, they're actually really cool. Like they actually really care. But when we sit there, we just plan. it's not even, I don't even like really second guess it. Like, it's just natural, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, we come together and it's like teamwork makes the dream work, man. You know, so my whole portion of it is to make sure that the art aspect, which is pretty big for that event, is all taken care of, you know? And then there's
So their first event, they had like no art on the walls. You guys basically pitched
I think
that
they had
whole-
brought out, there was a couple local artists on the wall that I remember seeing.
But now that whole parking structure's filled up with art.
There's people up there probably right now painting, man. It's
Yeah.
filled. I don't, dude. Yeah, those walls, bro, are. It's crazy. How many people come out here? People come out here from out of state, bro. You know?
Really?
Just as of recently, I had, you know, a cat, Psych. He was out here from France. He painted the back of the
Whoa.
shop, and he was up there.
Was that is that his Instagram name, or does he have any social media?
At Psych, Zike, Zike, and there's something else that goes into it, and I'm sorry, I feel bad, I don't remember. But if you just
They should find it from that. That seems
Zike,
pretty
bro, this
unique.
dude's famous as hell out there. Like, he's super talented. He does his thing. And then there's other people that come out all the time, dude. I've been very blessed to be surrounded by really good artists, and then even the local artists, you know, that grace those walls are really, really good, man.
Do you have any names you'd like to mention at all on the? I know.
There's
Well, you probably worked with a whole bunch of
many,
people.
bro.
Yeah, I don't even want you to mention nobody.
Big ups to everybody that
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I mean, it's so many, bro. It's everybody and their mama, dude.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
You got all kinds of artists up there on the.
Yeah, it's a
structure.
blessing, bro. It's a blessing, and it's a blessing that they're coming out here for that, just for that, you know.
So do you have any? I actually remember you guys came out with like an art date night. Do you guys have any date nights coming up? Any youth groups coming up? Any of those events?
Yeah, so back to the events and stuff like that. So the date night itself, we kind of put on hold for a little bit,
Okay.
to focus more on the youth one, because that was doing fairly well. So so we have the stuff inside the mall, like I was mentioning. Now here in particular at the shop, we have workshops ourselves that we're gonna be doing. So starting with my boy Apeser, who's a graffiti writer, but is actually a very, very good artist. Dude went to college for art. So he will be teaching a character class with aerosol. So we'll be teaching people how to sketch out a character, and then on the beginner level, and then go up to actually painting it with the spray can, which also includes a whole curriculum. Like, dude's really going for it. Like, you're gonna be able to pay to really learn. By the time you're done, you're gonna go home and you're gonna know some stuff, right?
It's an actual
that's
class.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As opposed to like what we host inside the mall, it's more like of an experience, you know, and which is also really dope. A lot of people love that, and it works very well. But this is more like, we want you to actually learn.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we want people to be artists out here. We don't want to be, you know, just us. Like, we want everybody to be artists, right? I mean, it'd be great to see that. And then there's also Anta, who's a very well-known artist out here as well. He is going to be teaching character drawing, I believe, as well, but with markers, which is also really cool. So that'll be cool. And then there's like 3D classes. We're doing 3D classes with my homegirl, Lucia, who's going to be doing the same thing, basically teaching you how to do 3D letters. We're going to be doing B-boy dance classes in August with some really dope B-boys. And that's going to consist of like pop locking, break dancing, and then just like hip hop dancing in general, right? So just, we don't want to necessarily generalize one particular thing. It's basically everything.
And where can everybody like find these events?
So I'm working on the website. I've been really slacking on that, but I'm getting on it. But for right now, our Instagram, if everybody just keeps, you know, tabs on it, we will be posting everything as we go.
What is it? Flat Black Shop, right? On
It's
Instagram?
at flat_black_shop. Yeah, that's primarily where we post everything. We also host an art walk every month inside Westfield Mall for vendors out here that, you know, have stuff that they want to sell, clothing, jewelry, whatever it may be. We also give people an opportunity to set up inside the mall and basically, get the foot traffic that's already, alive and kicking in there, and kind of just have people walk by your store or your, your
Get
table,
some eyes on it.
yeah.
Yeah.
More than anything, it's it's good exposure, but a lot of our vendors there, man, make some good money, dude. It's just depending on the person, and how much you really want it.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
and I'm sure it depends on obviously what you're doing. Like what is it, Norograph? I think he's got some crazy art pieces.
He's got some. He's never been at the Art Walk in itself, but we've sold a lot of cool Noro stuff.
I don't know. I got a couple of his.
Yeah,
pieces. Yeah, it just trips me out. His whole style's
yeah,
unique.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
But do you have a certain art style or way to paint, or do you have a certain way that you're specializing in, that you specialize in?
Me in particular?
Yeah. Like aerosol or
marker. Yeah, dude. I'm a graffiti writer. I've always been. I would never really consider myself to be a full-on artist, and that's why I think I give all these people that I work with so much credit and props, man, because there's a lot of the shit that I can't do. You know what I mean? But essentially, like I would generally say that I'm more of like an abstract graffiti kind of guy in canvas stuff.
Okay.
And then you got, just raw graffiti when we're out, and, not that I paint illegal graffiti, because I don't.
Yeah.
Right?
He never has.
I said never. I just
okay, yeah.
No,
yeah.
But.
I never said it, never.
But when the opportunity arrives and we have, a wall like upstairs, for example, at the Westfield yard, if that's a possibility for me to get up there and actually paint, then I'm going to lay down some graffiti letters. And that's just what I'm always been, good at. That's my style. But yeah, man.
So I'm going to go to the back end stuff, kind of the money, the accounting, all that type shit. What should somebody know if they're starting a business, if they're going to fill out the fictitious business name? What are the steps to that? Because I know you had some issues with that at one point.
Hell yeah.
Like how?
So let me try to remember this from the very beginning. Basically, I went and I got, God damn it, FaceTime. That's
Oh
weird.
shit, FaceTime on the podcast? Damn, that'd be crazy.
Weird. What did I do first? I definitely got fictitious name.
Nah.
Then I got the seller's permit. And then I got oh shit. Sorry.
This is what you gotta do, man. If you're
Sorry, guys.
If you're a business owner,
my bad.
you got 10 things you gotta do at one time.
So yeah, fictitious name. Then you get a seller's permit, and then you go get a business license. Once you have a actual spot, you don't necessarily need a business license, to be honest.
Okay.
To be honest, dog, like, it's funny. I've never even told anybody this, but to be honest, I didn't even have a business license for like the first 2 years, bro. Even having my shop,
Really?
Yeah, dog.
What the-
Hopefully this doesn't come back and bite me in the ass. But because I was such in the cut.
I got like 20 people listening to
Oh,
this.
my God.
Okay.
Really, I hope that none of them work for the city. No, but and I'm good now, by the way. But I didn't have it. I just didn't have my shit together in that sense.
Yeah.
I slacked it. I slacked it, bro, and I finally did. But it's very important to do that, though. I would definitely highly suggest doing that from the very beginning, because it's important to be on your P's and Q's,
Yeah.
But that's it, dude. Like, it's just business. It's just paperwork, man. People get kind of like discouraged by that, but it's not
Just
hard.
the extra couple steps,
yeah,
huh?
Yeah, it's not hard, bro. It's really not hard. It's designed for you to have it. The cities want you to have it. You just have to be committed to. That's why not a lot of people have it, because they give up. They're like, oh, well, you need me to, do this, and they're just like, nah, I'm good,
Yeah. And if you're 100% in, like, how hard is it to do
Bro,
that?
it's not hard. You just go stand in line. That's the worst thing that's gonna happen. Or you might have to pay, like, for the business license. It was, like $60 or some shit. It's like, it's there. That's it, bro. You start from the very beginning. Google it, man. Do your research. You know, that's what I did.
Yeah.
You know, when I first started, I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Especially now, dude. I think everything's out there. It's like fuck,
So
search
easy,
it, bro.
bro.
Fucking search it.
It's so easy, man. Like, if you don't make it now, you're tripping, dude. Like, if you don't make it, it's because you don't want to. You know,
Yeah.
if you don't want to take those steps, then don't even start because you're gonna end up losing money. You know, like investing in something else. Like,
Especially in your business, retail, like you
Absolutely.
already get undercut by having to buy the product yourself.
Absolutely.
And then have to sell it yourself.
Yeah, and it's not like I'm selling like the hottest items in the street. You know, it's like
yeah.
you know, it's a novelty thing, man. I mean, like artists aren't coming in and buying, you know, $1,000 worth of paint every day. I mean, not like one artist at a time, you know, maybe several,
Exactly.
but it's, you know,
We're buying a
it's-
couple cans here, maybe
Yeah.
a book here, some markers here.
12, yeah, exactly, bro. You're
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
You know, so you want to make sure that this is entirely what you want to do, you know. But yeah, the steps is easy to just look up. Do your research. Every city is different, but not really, man. Not really. The steps are the same. you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Like, you just gotta do what you gotta do, man. That's all. God damn.
All right,
Sorry
yeah.
about that.
I
Hey,
think-
we're good though. We're good.
You're good. Yeah. We should wrap it up.
No, you don't have to, but
No.
it's all good. I don't know who the hell that is. Probably. a
Hey,
bill
was that
collector.
them trying to FaceTime you again?
Yeah, probably a bill collector or something.
FaceTiming you? Like,
Yeah,
I gotta see your face.
I
I
gotta see
got
your
you.
face, homie.
Oh, man.
Anyways, man. Yeah, go for it though, man.
Yeah,
Anything else?
but no, I think we're pretty good. I think we got some knowledge on this one, and
Word.
again, when's your grand opening? The official grand opening,
July 13th,
July 13th,
6 to 11 p.m.
Come check it out. It's
Yeah.
over here, Westfield Palm Desert. Everybody that's listening to it in the valley, like just come check it out. Come
Yeah.
enjoy it. See some art.
Yeah,
See what's up with the shop.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
man.
good time.
I appreciate having you on here. I was excited about this one.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
love,
you got some
homie.
good knowledge for me, bro. I appreciate
Yeah, I'm
it.
glad.